Hi, this is Rob Barton of Barton Music School, where you can take live webcam lessons with experienced music teachers. Just visit us at learnchops.com. Now today I'd like to talk to you about putting together a flute. Your flute, chances are, comes in a case like this, maybe black, maybe brown, maybe another color. Your flute may even be another color. They make them in all kinds of colors now. But we're going to talk about putting it together. So the first thing I want you to do is always make sure your case is laying on a flat surface. Okay? Now, I like to put it on a table or something. Today I'm going to put it in my lap, which I don't ordinarily do. Now let me open the case. I click the locks, I lift the lid, and I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. If you look in there, you're going to see that there are 3 different pieces. Most flutes are going to come that way. Those pieces are called joints. We call them joints. It's that simple. Now, we have 3 of them. We have a long one that has lots of moving parts on it. Okay? That is the body joint. Now let me tell you some things about the body joint. If I hold it up toward the camera and you look, you're going to see that these keys right here across the top mostly form a line. Some flutes have 2 of them out of line. Don't worry about that right now. Your flute will be one or the other. The majority of these keys form a straight line across the top of the flute. That's what we're going to consider the top of the flute. You'll also notice that up here, if it has someone's name on it, usually the company that made it, their name is going to be there on the top of the flute. Now, these joints lock together with these ends. These are called tenon joints. So I'm going to put that one back in for just a moment. I'm going to grab another one. You see a shorter one that also has a few moving parts on it. That one is called the foot joint. Now I grab the medium-sized one, which doesn't have moving parts on it, but it does have a funny shaped thing up here that we call a lip plate, and it has a blowhole or embouchure hole. Embouchure is just a nice word for the way you hold your mouth whenever you play an instrument. Now on this joint, there's something here called a crown. At the end, closing it off, that can be turned. You shouldn't turn it. That is not how you tune your flute. That should just be left alone. If it needs to be adjusted, you take it to a repair person. If the crown does start to get a little bit loose, if you feel that it's loose, just turn it enough that it's snug. Don't crank down on it. Don't give it a good twist. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this head joint. I'm going to hold it in my left hand, and as you can see, there's where the metal there is going to fit into the body joint. Now, the body joint has a narrow tenon like that, and then it has that big ring there. That big ring is where I'm going to fit the head joint in. So I have the body joint there, I take the head joint, I carefully fit it in, I turn it a little bit as I slide it in. Now I don't have to slide it all the way in. Most flutes are not made so that they have to slide all the way in to be in tune. They're actually going to be a little bit out, and that's how you can adjust the flute to make it sound in tune with the other instruments. Now while I have it this way, I'm going to turn it like this, and I am going to look along this line of keys just like that all the way down to that lip plate. And if you look closely, you'll see that the hole in the lip plate is not perfectly in line with my keys. So I'm going to line it up so that it looks pretty much in line with my keys. That's what we're going to do with that one. Then I'm going to switch. I'm going to take my right hand and I am going to pick up this foot joint. This small tenon there goes into the larger end of the foot joint. You'll see where it fits. If anything doesn't want to fit on a flute, don't force it. Take it to a repair person or a flute technician. Now when I line this one up, I'm going to take this bar that runs across the top of the foot joint, and I want to line that bar up with the center of these keys. And that's how I put my flute together. So now this flute has all been put together and it's ready to be played. Now, a couple of things you're going to want to know. Don't ever grease the tenons. Some people will grease the tenons. A long time ago, people did that. We don't do that anymore because the flutes are really carefully made so that the metal fits together, and the space that the grease takes up can actually damage the metal with time. So once you have that all together, you would play, and then whenever it's time to take it apart, again, you'll notice I don't grab the keys and put a lot of pressure on the keys. So I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to take my foot joint off, just turning gently and pulling. It's going to come off. I'm going to put it back in the case. Then I'm going to come down here and take the head joint off. And then both of those are going to go back in the case. Once I put the head joint in, I'm going to put this body joint in. I close the case. I lock it shut before I pick it up by the handle and move it. That is a real simple overview of how to put your flute together. Now, if you have a flute teacher, your teacher is going to work with you on how to put the flute together. If you don't have a flute teacher, contact us at learnchops.com, the Barton School of Music, and we can get you signed up with a flute teacher who will work with you over your webcam. They will come live into your home, do a lesson, just like going to a regular teacher down the street, which you may not have a teacher down the street. So that'll get you a flute instructor. Have fun playing your new instrument. Bye.